Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're diving into a set of sources. Really interesting stuff.
Yeah, they tackle some huge ideas like global transformation, unity.
And, what building real-world peace might actually truly look like.
We've got material here laying out a vision, basically. It pulls from, well, ancient concepts, but applies them right now.
To the challenges we're all seeing. So our mission, as always, is to cut through the noise, find the core insights for you.
And help you grasp the main message about moving towards maybe a more peaceful world without getting lost.
Right. Okay, let's unpack this then. The sources, they kick off saying humanity is at this pivotal crossroads.
Yeah, a critical point. And they say we need to make a conscious choice, towards unity, sustainability, peace.
They actually call it the 2020s perfect vision, which is quite a name.
It is, and it's presented less like a dream and more like a necessary shift.
And central to this, interestingly, is the year of Jubilee.
Which is fascinating, because they don't just treat it as like ancient history, debt cancel, land returned every 50 years.
No, they really elevate it. It becomes this powerful metaphor for right now.
Exactly. A metaphor for choosing consciously to hit reset, to forgive, to rebuild things globally on foundations of, justice and love.
And they really push applying that spirit globally today. They argue it's not just philosophy.
No, it's framed as pragmatic. A necessity, almost.
So we're talking tangible ideas coming from
Yeah, like actual global debt relief, thinking about how to distribute resources more equitably.
Big ecological restoration projects too, right?
Massive coordinated ones.
Yeah.
The argument seems to be that not doing these kinds of resets is part of why we have such huge inequality and, environmental issues now.
Okay, and here's something that really stood out. The emphasis on forgiveness alongside justice.
That's a really key point they make. True liberation, true healing. It isn't just about righting wrongs or retribution.
It needs that element of releasing resentment through forgiveness.
Precisely. That balance feels crucial, doesn't it?
It does. You need justice for fairness to stop future harm.
Right. But you maybe need forgiveness to heal the past, to break those cycles of conflict.
The sources seem to say you need both, working together.
Yeah, otherwise justice might just become revenge, or forgiveness feels, cheap.
Makes sense. Okay, moving to unity. They're very clear. This isn't about everyone becoming the same.
No, definitely not uniformity. It's described more as like a harmonious coexistence of diversity.
Different elements, but bound by a shared purpose.
Exactly. And they identify what causes the divisions, primarily fear and ignorance.
So the solutions are things like education, dialogue.
Yeah, open dialogue, especially interfaith, intercultural conversations, and really focusing on shared humanity, shared values, compassion, justice, things like that.
And they stress it's an active thing, not passive.
Right, unity is presented as a continuous process, something you constantly work at.
So if we pull back, what does all this mean for peace?
Well, the sources define peace really broadly. It's much more than just no war.
It's holistic well-being.
That's the term they use, holistic well-being. So that includes social justice, economic equity, environmental sustainability.
And crucially, inner peace for individuals.
Yes, that's a big part of it too.
Okay, so if that's the goal, what's stopping us? What are the hurdles?
The sources point to things like structural violence, basically harm built into systems.
Like systemic discrimination, pervasive poverty.
Exactly. And ecological destruction too. They see these as deeply interconnected root causes of conflict.
So we need to tackle those roots, not just the symptoms.
That seems to be the argument. And they really highlight the personal angle too.
The inner peace idea.
Yeah. Cultivating mindfulness, empathy, forgiveness within ourselves, that's presented as foundational, like the starting point for outer peace.
So the call to action here feels collective.
Very much so. It's an imperative for everyone, not just leaders.
Every individual has a role in this kind of multi-layered approach.
Right. Personal work, community action, global advocacy. They even mention digital platforms as tools to maybe speed things up.
So there's a synergy there between inner change and collective outer action.
A powerful one, yeah. That seems key.
So pulling this together for you, the listener, what does it all mean? These sources seem to suggest co-creating a better future involves, embracing ancient ideas like Jubilee for modern rebalancing.
And committing to both systemic change and that personal transformation. Doing both at once.
It really highlights that achieving peace, achieving unity, It's not like a destination you just arrive at.
No, it's dynamic, an ongoing process. Requires continuous effort, constant rebalancing.
Okay, so here's a final thought for you to maybe chew on. If this perfect vision is described as this evolving, living ideal needing continuous effort, what does that imply about the work needed right here in our own communities?
And within ourselves, too, even after we take big steps towards justice or forgiveness.
Right, it seems like the work, well, maybe it's never really finished.
That wraps up this deep dive into Jubilee, unity, and this vision for holistic peace from our sources.